In 2009, my wife and I went through a divorce. A couple of years later, I guess May of 2012, some friends of mine suggested that I try online dating. I was going through online profiles and I came across a young lady that really stood out for me. Megan seemed like a nice girl and she was very beautiful. She was a pediatric oncology nurse at Orange County Children's Hospital, and we began chatting online and eventually went to telephone and text and then to calls. And about 2 weeks later, we set up a date to meet. And my birthday, June 15th, that was going to be our first date. The morning of June 15th, she called me and she told me that she'd been diagnosed with leukemia. She had two brothers, Matt and Mark, and they began texting me when Megan got sick and was in the hospital. She got worse, and eventually her brother, Matt, texted me and said, if you have anything to say to her, you better say it because she's not going to be with us much longer. Within about 2 hours, I got word that she did not make it. After Megan died, the first thing that I received was a journal that was found in Megan's hospital room, and it had a lot about me in it, and so they wanted me to have it. She had also written a final letter to me and a final letter to Allie, her best friend. I got a text from Allie that said, Bart, this is Allie. I know you're not okay. And we texted and talked on the phone. Allie was great. Allie was like the best friend you can imagine. She really helped me through Megan's. There was no funeral. They had her body cremated, and I certainly would not ask for any of the ashes, but months later I was offered some. It was a small bag, and I had it at my house. I was so excited about this person and meeting her and this really sweet girl, and all of a sudden she just died and was gone just like that.
Well, and of course, we are all sorry for his loss, but with his friend Allie by his side, encouraging him to find love again, Bart did eventually get back online, and he met a new woman named Allison. Now, she was a beautiful brunette with a dangerous job as a DEA agent.
Weeks later, Allie said, you need to move on with your life. Megan doesn't want you to sit around and mourn. So I turned on my profile. There was a girl that pursued me, this absolute gorgeous girl named Allison. She was from Burbank, California. She worked for the agency as a special agent, did a lot of undercover stuff, and man, we just hit it off. Most of our conversations were text, email, occasional phone call. We eventually worked out our schedule to where we would be able to meet, and something always happened. She said that she was testifying at a trial in Chicago for some people that they had arrested a while back, and while she was there testifying, she was going to go under protection with the U.S. Marshal Service. Would have to disappear for a while until it was safe. January 13th of this year, I was contacted by her partner, RJ, who had heard her talk about many times. He contacted me and said, Allison's been hurt. Said she was found this morning in a town called Riverbend, Alaska, and they held her for about 5 hours. She has broken van, and she's in the hospital right now in ICU. When she was finally discharged, RJ, her partner, confessed to her that he had kind of been a rogue DEA agent. He said that Allison could testify against him and he needed her to disappear. She escaped from this, and in the process of her escaping, she got I got contacted by a lieutenant. I was told she began hemorrhaging and eventually lost so much blood, and she got, again, completely devastated. I've lost 2 women in my life in literally less than a year.
So obviously a very difficult year for Bart, until he miraculously found out that Allison was in fact still alive after her boss, Lieutenant Travis, notified Bart of the miracle through a text message.
I thought, this has to be a cruel joke. I mean, I can't believe she's alive. If she's alive, I would have heard from her, right? Finally, the next day, I got not only a text, I got a phone call. I even asked for a picture. I asked Allison specifically, send me a picture of yourself, and she did. She sent me a picture of her sitting up in the hospital bed, giving me a thumbs up, showing me she was okay. That's when I realized she's still alive. This is not a joke. It's going to be transferred a few days later, and she was going to fly on a medical flight to Walter Reed Hospital in Maryland. I guess the fatal mistake finally happened. I'm very into flying. I love airplanes, and I asked her, is there any way you can take your phone and snap a picture of the plane? It's a military flight, it's cool. So she did. She took about 3 or 4 pictures and texted them to me. The first one looked completely normal, no problems. The second one was an inside shot looked a little weird because it didn't match up to what the outside of the aircraft was. So I took it and reverse Google image searched it, and when I did, I found that all of the photos were fake. I mean, they weren't taken by her. So the more I thought about it, I began thinking, well, I wonder if she lied to me once, what else could she have lied about? So I began reverse Google image searching every single image Allison ever sent me. And all of the images of her, I didn't find anything. Everything was legitimate. But some of the travel pictures that she'd sent me, when she was always taking pictures, they were all fake. I went to see my friend Allie. I took her to dinner that night, and upon dropping her off at her place, I noticed that she'd left her car keys in my car. I picked up her car keys and I looked, and there was a library card on it with the name Jean, not Allie. And that's when I realized Allie was also lying to me.
All right, so what the hell's going on here? Remember, we had Megan who died within weeks of meeting Bart. He says, all right, he steps in there and finds love again with the DEA agent, Allison. Remember, but then she came back to life. Here's what happens next.
The fear came in when I didn't fully know what was going on. When I first started realizing that Jean had lied to me, I didn't know what her motives were. To show you the great lengths that Jean went to fool me, while Allison was in the hospital, Jean actually had to have a fake bracelet made with my name and number on it, photograph it on her or some girl's arm, and send it to me. I mean, the details that she went to was absolutely crazy. This person has stayed in my house. She stayed in my parents' house. She's actually helped take care of my children before. I mean, it really is sick. I don't fully understand why she did this. I would like to get to the bottom of that. You know, what was her reasoning? What would cause a person to do something like this? If she really liked me, if I was really her friend and she wanted to be my friend, why would she watch me suffer like that? I don't understand what the sick thrill would be to control life and life. That's twisted.
It's terrible that he went through the grieving process twice for two separate women, except with the last woman, she magically came back to life. With the first woman, with Megan, he was sent her ashes. It's crazy to me that Jean sent him the remains of her friend, ashes that her friend's mother gave her. Is that like a form of desecration or something? It feels like it.